Public health officials are reporting that a child under the age of 5 has died from flu-related illness. It's at least the third flu-related death in the county this season. With more on this new flu season, we're joined by our resident medical expert, board-certified ER Dr. Michael Daigneault. Dr. D, good to see you. So that's a concerning headline, a kid dying from flu. What should parents know?
Yeah, it's certainly hard to see this, and I think as we get into the winter season, you look at the three main viruses that are circulating around the country, RSV, flu, and COVID are up across the country. It just goes to show you that whether, especially if you're really young, you're older, you're immune compromised, any of these viruses can cause severe illness, and all the more reason to get vaccinated. Everybody over 6 months should get the flu vaccine. So for parents, what I want you to pay attention to is if your kid has a fever, if they're breathing really fast, if they look a little blue, if they become more altered than usual, they're not eating as much, they're not drinking, they're not making urine. Those are all signs where you immediately need to go to the ER.
You go to the ER and
Absolutely.
Not an urgent care or something like that.
It's too much for
and meanwhile, when you talk about the flu vaccine, you know, there are some people that are skeptical about the COVID vaccine because they say it's relatively new, but the flu vaccine, pretty tried and true, right?
Right, and if you look at the numbers I checked today from the CDC, so about 40% of Americans of all ages have gotten the flu vaccine, and only about 17% have gotten the updated COVID vaccine, and about 16% over 60 have gotten the new RSV vaccine. So, you know, the RSV vaccine still lag those of flu.
So you brought up the urgent care and versus ER situation. Let's talk about that in terms of, because somebody gets sick and they wonder, where should I go? Should I go to urgent care? Should I make my way to the ER where you are? First, let's talk about urgent care. When should you go to urgent care and not ER?
Right, so this comes up for a lot of us in the ER every day, and patients go to urgent care and then they're referred to the ER because their problem that they go to urgent care is too much. So if you have a simple small laceration, ankle sprains, kids with fever that are otherwise well appearing, eating and drinking, running around as usual, rashes, sore throats, those are reasons why you should go to urgent care. They can handle that. They have the resources to take care of you in a very time-efficient manner.
Meanwhile, ER, what should we be looking for there?
Right, so the no-brainer, abdominal pain, please go to the ER. If you go to urgent care with abdominal pain, they're going to send you to the ER because you might need a CAT scan, you might need an ultrasound, things that they can't do very quickly at urgent care, especially chest pain, any stroke symptoms. So just a reminder, it's not just weakness on the left side of the body, the right side of the body, or difficulty speaking. If you have severe dizziness or unsteady gait, that could be a posterior circulation stroke, another reason to go to the ER. Any kind of excessive bleeding, so that's even in pregnant women who have vaginal bleeding or postpartum hemorrhage, that's a big one, you need to go to the ER. Any older relatives that you see these holidays that are more altered than usual, have a fever, and then definitely, you know, any kind of motor vehicle accident, especially with a high degree, a high dangerous mechanism of injury, like there was severe damage to the car, airbags deployed, damage to the windshield, go to the ER.
All good information, then they can come and see you, and you can make them feel
anytime.
better. All right. Dr. Michael Daigneault, always great to see you. Happy holidays to you.